The family of Natalee Holloway has spent years searching for answers after she disappeared in 2005 while she was visiting Aruba. And now they may get some closure.
Joran van der Sloot, the main suspect in Holloway's disappearance, is expected to plead guilty tomorrow to extorting and defrauding her mother in a courtroom in Alabama. That's according to a family attorney. Van der Sloot is accused of receiving $25,000 from Holloway's mother in exchange for the location of her daughter's remains, but then giving her fake information.
Texas EquuSearch founder Tim Miller traveled with his team 9 times to Aruba shortly after Holloway's disappearance, but never found her body.
Tim Miller and his team traveled today to Alabama ahead of van der Sloot's court hearing. He's joining us now live. Tim, thanks for taking a moment with us this afternoon.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we're on our way to Birmingham right now.
All right. Well, first, take us back and tell us about EquuSearch's involvement in the Holloway case.
Well, I remember like it was yesterday when Beth Holloway called me from Aruba and asked me, is there any way that you can help? Because Beth's brother actually lived in Houston and stuff. And I said, yeah, we will help. Didn't know how we was going to do it at that time, but we did. We brought every resource to Aruba that you could possibly bring during that period of time of the ground searchers, ATVs, drone airplanes. We actually took a 135-foot boat all the way from New Iberia, Louisiana, all the way to Aruba and did that deep water search with sonar and magnetometer and ROV equipment. And, I didn't think that this day was ever going to come. I know that, Beth, like me, we never give up on our, on our missing daughter, and I think that what Beth pulled off with this extortion was one of the best moves that she could have made. So unfortunately, Joran goes to Aruba and murders Stephanie Flores, so he still has time to serve there. Beth was actually in Houston 3 months ago, and we hung out for a couple days, and she told me then, she said, we got Joran back to Birmingham, which did not think it was going to happen this quick. And, didn't know really what was going to happen. So for him to come up with a plea bargain and it's going to be interesting. I don't know how it's going to work out. When I talked to Beth yesterday, she was pretty optimistic. And she told me, she said, Tim, Wednesday, it's finally going to be over, and I don't know what that over really means. Whether, I know on his plea bargain he's got to say what really happened to Natalee and how he disposed of her, where she's disposed of, and the big question I've been wondering through this whole thing, is she in a spot that she's still very possibly findable? And I guess we'll have that answer tomorrow. And if she is, and we got to make trip number 10 to Aruba, well, we'll do that. But, Beth is extremely optimistic some positive things are going to come out of it. I actually talked to Dave Holloway yesterday, also, Natalee's father, which I become very, very close with both of them over the years. And he sounded kind of down, not knowing what to expect. So, again, it's going to be interesting. I hope some information comes out where this family can have some closure. And in the perfect world would be Joran's going to say where she's at, and she can be found, brought back to Birmingham and buried and have that proper funeral. That's a perfect world. Unfortunately, we don't live in one of them, so we'll just see what's going to happen tomorrow.
Tim, it sounds like over the years you've become very close with Natalee's family, and it must be very important for you to be in Alabama for this hearing. Can you talk to us about how important it is for you to be there?
Well, yeah, I became very close with this family. In fact, I've done searches before in Alabama and Georgia in different areas, and Beth has been there. We've done them in Mississippi. Dave has been there. They helped us out in different searches. They've been involved with different fundraisers, helping us generate money. We've helped them in different things. So, we kind of became that family that we never knew we was family. We can be together and really don't have to say a whole lot, and we kind of know what the other person is thinking. We've both shared the same loss, and our lives will never ever be the same. And you know, people on the outside world can't understand what Holloway family goes through, what I go through, and you know, we've got that connection. You know what? We joined this little organization we never wanted to belong to, and that's one of you know, our daughters being murdered, and really not having the answers, not having the closure, and you know, we relate, and we've got this relationship, and again, it's not one that we ever wanted, but you know, through it all, I can say I've met the most wonderful people in the family, and I think that you know, Natalee's family can kind of say the same thing. So, you know, and it's not one of the things you can get through by yourself. And again, people just don't understand. I mean, we lose family members, we lose friends, you know, it breaks families apart, and you know, the little bit of time we do spend together, a little bit of time that we do talk is just so very, very valuable. And you know, yes, I'll be there for him tomorrow in court. And again, if there is any chance in the world that Natalee is in a spot on that island where she's findable, and they would ask us to go look, we would.
Yeah.
We would. You know, we took a total of 156 people to Aruba on 9 different trips. And again, a 135-foot boat all the way from New Iberia, Louisiana to Aruba and back. And that one alone, we was doing that deep water search for about 2.5 months. So, you know, we did everything. We knew what to do, and we put every effort into it. We came up empty-handed. And did I think this many years later, we may possibly get some answers. It's last thing I ever thought that would happen. So again, tomorrow's going to be interesting, and let's just kind of see where it takes us, and certainly hope it takes us in some positive direction.
Well, we're happy to hear that Beth has some sense of optimism ahead of tomorrow. We appreciate all you do in bringing comfort to so many families, including the Holloways. Tim Miller, Texas EquuSearch, thank you for joining us today, and safe travels as you continue on to Alabama. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.